Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and today I'm bringing you a video where I'm going to break down every single armor piece that I have in my vault, showing you why I keep the armor pieces that I do keep and why I dismantle what I dismantle. I obviously get a lot of armor because I play the game quite a bit, and I sift through everything and I try to decipher what I believe to be the best. Obviously, I also listen to other sources, Reddit, YouTube videos, friends of mine, so on and so forth. And so I'm going to break down for you every single arm piece I use. This involves both PvP and PvE, which pieces I find to be the most useful and most valuable. Things change with time too. Keep that in mind. Like for example, Whisper of the Worm was definitely one of the best weapons until the recent changes. And recently, grenade launchers are extremely powerful. So as the meta changes, your armor so too will change. And so you'll see as I'm changing my armor, some of my armor pieces aren't fully infused to 750, but with time I'll get all of them to 750 and I'll get everything on board. So to start things off, I'm going to be on my hunter, and I'm actually going to just stay on my hunter for the entirety of this video. This will actually simplify things quite a bit. I will show you my vault here though. In my vault, I only keep the exotic armor pieces, right? Like this, I only have my exotics for my Titan Hunter and Warlock, and on my character, I keep pretty much just all the legendaries, and I try to keep just enough legendaries to fill up maybe 6 or 7 spaces, not too much, not too many, not too little. But at the same time, I don't want to keep necessarily every single piece that has an enhanced perk on it. I don't find that to be necessary at all. But I'm going to go over my hunter, and everything that applies to my hunter also applies to my Titan and Warlock, minus the fact that, different characters have different exotics. So here we are, we're on my hunter, and this is my Crucible set. What I look for in a Crucible helmet is a perk called Remote Connection for sniper kills, or Pump Action. You could also find one for fusion rifle kills. But I pretty much only shotgun or snipe. So I basically base my armor sets around this, shotgunning or sniping. And I was really fortunate to find this awesome armor piece, this helmet that has both Pump Action and Remote Connection. Before this, I actually had 2 helmets, one that had Remote Connection, one that had Pump Action. There is no enhanced option for either of these, so this is the best it gets, having 2 of these on one. The reserve perks over here don't affect anything significant in Crucible. I'm always looking to have pretty much as high recovery as I possibly can. So this has got 1 mobility and 2 recovery. That's awesome. If I could get more, I would. Like if I could find a better armor piece. And sometimes I will search for stuff like that. Like for example, if I have an armor piece that has like 2 mobility and 1 resilience, or 2 mobility and 1 recovery, I'll search and try to find something better. So that way I can kind of veer away from the high mobility stuff and put a little more emphasis on the recovery, which I find to be the overall most important stat for Crucible. My other armor pieces, I have this enhanced heavy lifting. This is a PvE perk that I really like. That's amazing. If you were to go out and get a bunch of, let's just say power ammo kills with whatever it may be, enhanced heavy lifting is going to give you your super back really fast, and that's just a really awesome perk and very hard to find. I was fortunate enough to get this from the Scourge raid on the helmet. I do have a full Invader set for my armor. When I do Gambit, I'm an Invader, number 2 ranked Invader in the world. That's just a meme, by the way. I'm not actually. Uh, and so I do have a full Invader set. I only have it on my Hunter. I don't have it on my Titan or my Warlock because I pretty much mostly play Hunter when I play Gambit or when I play PvP. That's maybe changing in the future here, though, soon, if you haven't seen some of the fun clips I've been getting with those Peregrine Greaves. So I have a full Invader set, and I have my Celestial Nighthawk. Obviously, those are just exotics. And I'm not going to cover the exotics because exotics are exotics. You're going to keep one of each exotic no matter what. You're going to keep one, so that way you have it in your vault, ready to go if you ever need it. And if you don't have the space in your vault, then you can just delete it and just pull out of collections if it's not that great of a roll anyways. And you can't really force the rolls on exotics too much other than Xur. So the next piece is this Enhanced Ashes to Assets helmet, which also has grenade launcher reserves. I find that PvE, the dream helmet that I would love to have would be if I could infuse these 2 helmets right here, have enhanced heavy lifting, and it has fusion rifle reserves, which sucks, and have grenade launcher reserves on this one. That would be amazing. Enhanced heavy lifting and grenade launcher reserves would be a crazy helmet. I would love that helmet. I would use that thing. So as you can see, I haven't infused either of these because I'm kind of not really that enthused by either of them. And mostly when I'm playing PvE, I'm just put on Celestial Nighthawk and just Golden Gun most stuff. But this is an enhanced sniper targeting helmet. I don't really use this much. If I were to use it, it would be entirely based on PvP, just to give the sniper a little more snappiness and readying speed, etc. But like I said, I don't really use this very much. This is a heavy lifting and sword reserves helmet. I have this on here because the new armor pieces have an extra mod slot. And so if I were to try and sweat it out in PvE and really stack my character to the brim with all the coolest stuff, I would put this on here. And on my Warlock, I actually have like a full set for PvE where I did this, where I actually put on like Hive armaments right here and super mods. Like I went all out on my Warlock because I mostly play PvE on my Warlock, but the same still applies to my Hunter. I still keep all the same armor pieces, and technically speaking, my Hunter has a lot more than my Warlock because I've spent a lot more time on my Hunter and sort of like groomed his armor with time. Like for example, when something drops, I'm like, oh cool, this is better than what I previously had, so I can delete the old thing. So those are all my helmets that I keep. And if I get new helmets, they drop in here in these 3 slots. And I know that I review them. Like they're not locked. Like these are all locked. And so the new helmets, I'll review them and I'll compare them to whatever they have. Like if it has enhanced heavy lifting, I'll be like, cool, does it have a better reserve option than this one? Okay, if it does, then I'll delete this one and I'll keep the new one, you know? And so that's kind of how I do things. The new armor drops, I compare everything, you know, I analyze it and then to what I currently have and then decide whether or not I keep the old or keep the new. Next armor piece we have, these are my gauntlets for Crucible. Really not the best. I actually need to get a better piece for this because light arms loader is kind of not that big a deal, kind of pointless, but it's got Sniper Scavenger and putting the super mods on for the Crucible. Unfortunately, it's still a super mod meta, and that's why also this perk right here, remote connection and pump action, is so incredibly powerful because it would stack with super mods. Like you could have a full set of super mods, and then also every sniper kill or shotgun kill, you get more super energy. And in the current, you know, meta, trying to be as powerful as you possibly can, you need to get your super before the enemy team, so that way you can wipe them out and drop orbs for your teammates. That's all covered in previous videos. You'll have to look those up a little bit. The video that would be covered in is the 10 noob things I see in comp. That's where that whole topic is covered. This is my Invader Gauntlet. This gauntlet has enhanced momentum transfer. I try to keep like one enhanced perk for each different one because I like to be optimistic and think that maybe I could find a time to use it, but I will probably never use this gauntlet. I could probably delete it. This is my shotgun gauntlet. So it's really important to have a shotgun scavenger and a sniper scavenger gauntlet. Also, if you're going to be a fusion rifler or a grenade launcher person, whatever, make sure you have the proper scavenger on all your gauntlets. And so this is the one I use. I've got enhanced shotgun loader and shotgun scavenger. I love it. I wish I had like enhanced sniper loader and sniper scavenger. That would be really nice. I would appreciate that. Or even just enhanced hand cannon loader. For either of these would be nice because I'm primarily use hand cannon shotgun or hand cannon sniper. So I wouldn't mind either one, but I've never actually gotten an enhanced hand cannon loader on my Hunter, and feels bad, man. This is a shotgun loader, shotgun scavenger gauntlet. I probably don't really need this if I have this one, so I'll actually just delete this thing right now. Now that I think about it. Bye. So now I got this grenade launcher scavenger. This I would put on for like PvE, so that way I can get like extra mountaintop ammo, or when I'm using Wendigo, or if I'm using the Swarm of the Raven, I would have a grenade launcher scavenger gauntlet on, so that way I pick up a little bit more ammo. Fusion rifle loader, fusion rifle scavenger for Crucible, if I'm ever using a fusion rifle, which I rarely do, but you know, every now and again I feel like using one, so at least save this gauntlet for that purpose and keep it. My chest pieces, you'll notice that I have less chest pieces than any other piece in the game, and the reason why is kind of frustrating, I guess, maybe with Destiny, is that the enhanced, or that the unflinching perks barely work. They work. They do work. I'm not saying they don't work. You can demonstrate that they do work, but they don't work to such a level of effectiveness that it matters much, really. You're not going to have an enhanced unflinching of anything and be able to still hit the same target. Like if you're sniping, aiming on someone's head, and someone shoots you, and you have, like for example, I keep this one enhanced unflinching sniper aim, your aim still flies way off their head. You know, maybe there's some other back-end mechanics that are happening where maybe it helps your bullet go the right direction, but for the most part, everything I've tested is that this doesn't really help much with flinch. It reduces the flinch a little bit, but there's so much flinch in the game in general that it's not to a level where it's significant enough to matter. So I pretty much don't keep really any chest pieces other than my Invader set and my Crucible set for when I'm sniping, and then I just have this set here for, it has the extra mod slot, so I keep this set, which I would use for PvE. So my PvP set, my Gambit set, and my PvE set, essentially, just 3. It's nice and easy, nice and simple for chess pieces, and the unflinching perks just really don't do a whole lot. And the other thing to keep in mind too is that with chess pieces, they only have primary ammo reserves, no scavengers, only reserves. And primary ammo is pretty easy to come by in both PvE and PvP. Um, and of course in Gambit too. So it's like it's not really that big a deal. Like I don't actually care if I was on shotgun or if on scout or hand cannon reserves. Doesn't matter much for me. There's not really any weapon I can think of where that's extremely helpful. If I were to choose one, I would probably choose like for my PvE chess piece, like SMG reserves for the recluse maybe. But really, I rarely ever run out of ammo with the SMG, so it's not a big deal. So that's why the chess pieces are kind of really whatever is good. Honestly, I don't even care much for what the unflinching is. So moving on to the next piece, I have quite a bit of boots, and I'll explain why. I've got enhanced hand cannon dexterity. I've got my gambit set to complete my invader set. I've got enhanced shotgun dexterity. I've got enhanced sniper dexterity. I've got enhanced bomber here. Distribution, which was a really, really good perk until it got nerfed. And then I have this Dynamo set, which is just, I keep this set because it has the extra slot again. And so I keep all of these because they have enhanced perks. And if I were to use anything other than my stompies, I would go back and forth depending upon what weapon I wanted to use. Maybe I'll use running around with the shotgun, I'll use this one. Maybe I want to land some crispy hand cannon shots, so I'll use this one. Snipe a little bit. I try out the enhanced bomber, which I don't think I'll actually use this perk much. Even faster grenade cooldown when using class ability. Yeah, I don't think I'm actually gonna use that very often, but I pretty much just keep to these stompies, which have enhanced sniper rifle dexterity, which is a really, really nice perk. And I've mostly been sniping in Crucible when I'm playing outside of like comp stuff. When I'm playing for my own fun, I would just snipe or try to snipe as much as possible at least. And so that's everything for boots. So mostly just Crucible stuff, my Gambit piece, and then this is my PvE piece. And I don't have a bunch of mods stacked on it and stuff like that because, again, like in PvE, you don't really have to sweat it out that much. Like I don't need to have my Hive armaments on here and my Hive repurposing or my Hive repurposing on my class item and stuff like that. I keep the piece there because if I were to try to do maybe like some 2-man Galron challenge, I might put those mods on and try something like that. But it's really not necessary. The Menagerie is easy enough to beat. These items apply to anything on Leviathan, which is basically just the new raid, Crown of Sorrow, and Menagerie. And both of them are easy enough to beat, especially with the grenade launcher meta, that I don't really feel the need to spec out and buff my character to such a level of extreme power because it would just be super overkill. Like we're already one-phasing pretty much everything because of grenade launchers and because it's a very weapon-heavy meta that I don't really feel the necessity to put all these mods on my armor. So moving on to the next, this is class item. This one's really, really important. You need to have a sniper scavenger. You need to have a shotgun scavenger. The perk that I tend to use is recuperation, which just gives you health as you pick up orbs. When I'm playing in the Crucible, it can be extremely clutch to pick up an orb and get some health, especially if you're weak. If there happens to just be an orb around, that's always really nice. I don't see it happening very often, so maybe if you want to use something else, it's not a big deal. Like if you want to get your melee energy back from an orb, that's fine. Class ability, whatever you like, really. It doesn't make a world of difference, in my opinion. But if you're trying to run around, throwing smoke grenades or something, then sure, use the one where you throw where you pick up an orb and you get more melee energy. This would be my cloak for PvE. This one right here because it has the extra mod slot. But also I would potentially use this one, which has grenade launcher reserves, which would be really helpful for the mountaintop and for those power ammo grenade launchers. So it would be a toss-up between these two. If I could, I would infuse these two together, merge them together, and have the Mantle of Aphrodite, but with grenade launcher reserves. But I didn't get that drop, unfortunately, so it's kind of either or, depends on the situation. And then, of course, I have my Invader set, so that I can complete my Invader set if I want to go play Gambit and put on all the Invader armor. So that's everything. If you have any questions, make sure to write them down below in the comment section. Like I said, the same thing applies to my Titan, my Hunter, my Titan, and my Warlock. All the same stuff applies, except I don't have Gambit gear on them, and my Warlock is a little more PvE focused, but Not really that big a deal. None of the stuff that I'm put on them is much different from my hunters. So this is how I organize my character. And in my vault, again, is only my exotic armor pieces for Titan Hunter and Warlock. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you organize your vault. I'll be reading the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in the next one.